In the Apology, Socrates told the Athenian jury that the unexamined life is not worth living. Every day I try to follow that principle, thinking about my actions and how they play a role in my overall life. I got this desire to learn from my family. I grew up in a close relationship with my parents, something that has carried on to this day. Living in a community with others is important for me. In fact, I find myself a member of many communities. I'm not only a Swanee student, but a Winnetka, a Lambda Chi, as well as a part of the Pelham Loops community. For me, I try not to see these different communities as separate, but rather I try to find a way to find the similarities. I have seen how each community has a unique culture, with different social values, economic capabilities, and even geographic locations. I try to find ways in which many of these cultures overlap and relate to others. Growing up in the affluent suburbs of Chicago, I worked to make use of all of the opportunities that I had been given to help others. My first major leadership role was during my Eagle Scout project. In it, I helped create an educational documentary about Lake Michigan and ravines for a local land trust. That group then distributed the DVDs to surrounding school districts to help teach local students about Lake Michigan. My Eagle Scout project opened many doors for me. One opportunity allowed me to work at a day camp in Waukegan, Illinois, that helped underprivileged youth by teaching them about the environment. This helped foster a new idea of service by teaching children directly. I brought this view with me to Swanee and the Bonner program. I feel most comfortable when I'm around my friends. I also have a diverse group of friends stemming from all different backgrounds and social groups. Learning from my friends has helped me as a Bonner by giving me new perspectives on life. I try to make changes on an individual level rather than focusing with larger groups. I believe that a close relationship of friendship is much more effective than a shallower one found with larger groups. I have always held this view. This focus on the individual has been both helpful and detrimental to me. As I have worked at local after-school programs, I have used this as a way to make an individual impact on a particular student. This ability has led to many challenges. My greatest challenges came from my weakness of introversion, which helps with forming relationships with individuals in small groups, but makes working with larger groups harder. How can I give that specific individual attention to every student? I've tried as hard as I can. Not being able to has been the hardest part of service for me. I believe that my most effective service has come from my deep conversations with students at elementary schools. I believe that if I can inspire someone to do better educationally, then they will motivate their friends to try harder and think critically. This tries to incorporate both direct and indirect service. Bonner has helped my academics too. As a philosophy and environmental studies double major, I strive to see the world through an interdisciplinary lens. Bonner has allowed me to achieve a perspective of the surrounding areas which I cannot attain by simply reading. I used my observations of interactions with students in my final presentation of ancient philosophy, using a game of capture the flag to explain Plato's moral philosophy in the Republic. I even used examples that I have observed in my senior thesis defending John Rawls's theory of justice. While Bonner has been much extra work and has added substantially to my workload. I have managed to use it as an experience to learn how to manage my time and compromise around schedules. I hope to do some kind of nonprofit work in my future, hopefully focusing on helping rural Appalachia. Bonner has helped inspire me to do this and to help other people. My experience has been very challenging. However, it has been even more rewarding. Over my 4 years as a Bonner, I have learned many lessons on how to be both a better leader and a better, more just person. My experience through Bonner truly has been a journey for justice.